Good evening. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the meeting of the Johnson City Board of Commissioners held at the Water and Sewer Services Complex this Thursday, December 19th, 2024 at 6 o'clock. And would like to invite Pastor Jeff Martin from Redeemer Community Church to lead us in an invocation. If we'll all stand for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
If you would bow your heads for a moment of prayer. Father, we are thankful for this group of men and women who you have placed in our city to lead our city. God, I thank you for the elections and bringing back and bringing on Dr. Fowler, Greg Cox, and Joe Wise. And so, Father, I pray over this whole board that you would give them wisdom and discernment in the way that they lead. God, I ask that you would give favor over our city and over our region. But God, I just ask that Johnson City would truly be a light to not just our region, but to Tennessee and beyond. God, for the work that you're doing here. So, Father, show us your favor. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Trivett.
Mayor, your first order of business is consideration of the approval of the minutes of the regular scheduled city commission meeting held on Thursday, December the 5th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
Ms. Laus?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hunter?
Yes.
Mayor, there were no one who signed up for the public comment on the agenda. So your next item would be 5.1, presentation of retirement resolution to Mr. Mark Stidham.
Okay.
And he is in the audience. You sure you want to do it?
Every time we go through a traffic light, we'll be thinking about you, Mark.
So we've got proclamation here for you. Whereas Mark Stidham began a career with the City of Johnson City as the first traffic system specialist on November 1st, 1999, and whereas throughout his career, Mark has been a large part of many of the traffic projects and replacements throughout the city. This includes new signals, school flashers, traffic counts, and fiber optic cable installation. And whereas he is known for his reliability, great personality, willingness to get the job done, and his calm demeanor under pressure. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Johnson City Board of Commissioners officially extends its appreciation to Mark Stidham for 25 years of going all out to enrich the quality of life in Johnson City. Would you like to say a few words?
I'll just give you some of the highlights of some of the things that have happened since he's been with the city. We've upgraded 21 signals using a contractor. Contractors have installed 22 signals. Our own crews have installed 8 new signals and replaced 5 others. And that's a daunting task, and we don't have the equipment to do stuff like that, but we do it anyway. And we've replaced just about all the school flashers in the town. I think that was 38. And so it's been a lot, and we got 17 miles of fiber out there that he watches after, and we've installed several miles of that ourselves. So it's been a lot that we've done over the years, and Mark's overseen that. He's done a great job with it and made sure everything was up and running and kept it going. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I'll give you a little time there, Mayor. Thank you. Mayor, we have a very special request tonight as the next item of agenda. It's 5.2, and it's to consider granting special air rights usage over the city on December the 24th and 25th as requested by Claus. And
Merry Christmas!
Oh, it's so good to be here. You know, Christmas is all about love and it's all about appreciation. And I want to tell you how much we appreciate all of you all and all of your service to this city and all the people who work in the city. Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, we've heard that little Johnny Hunter has been so naughty to the rest of the commissioners that they made him mayor.
Well,
It's
the
a
first part of
thankless
that's
job.
true.
Yeah. Thank you, young man. Little Greg Cox, shouldn't you be in school? What are you doing here? Anyway, Santa came just to say, we're looking forward to coming through. We love the city of Johnson City. I love coming across the Liberty Bell. It's just such a beautiful spot. As a matter of fact, little Theodore Fowler here told me I need to lose a little bit of weight. So I've been playing pickleball, Jenny.
Oh, way to go.
Yeah, and so, Santa wants to, if Santa has a request, he wants to see some pickleball courts out at Wing Deer.
We got it. All in favor?
All right. Any special requests?
Well, Santa, I would like to suggest, there's some drone problems in some parts of the country here. I don't know about around here, but I just want to, keep your eyes open when you're coming through Johnson City and watch out for the drones and, get to the houses so you can get those packages.
We
And-
can do that. As a matter of fact, we had loaded up the sleigh last year. We had all the reindeer loaded up, and there was a big storm coming. But we saw a couple of drones, and we asked them, we said, hey, would you lead the way? And the drones led us through a storm. Yeah,
Friendly drones.
yeah. Have y'all not been able to do anything with little Randy Trickett?
not a thing.
All right.
We're trying.
Santa, thank you for coming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor, I think you guys need to take action. I don't think you want to disappoint any little boys or girls on Christmas Eve keep Santa from flying over Johnson City to deliver presents. So if you want to.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
deliver
I'll make a
presents.
motion to grant those special air rights.
Well, before you
Second.
do, I was given a list of questions that we have to ask to make sure Santa is okay. So Santa, have you read the rules and regulations for the city of Johnson City regarding the use of a sled in flight over our airspace?
Have I read a what?
The reindeers do.
Oh, one of the elves? And do you agree to abide by them?
You agree to do what now?
Yeah, that's good enough. Second.
I'll follow. Okay, I'll follow.
He's been doing this for years.
I'll second his motion.
Second.
Can we call the roll?
Commissioner Brock,
Absolutely.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox.
Yes.
Mayor Hunter.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
watching
Merry
for you.
Christmas.
I love you all.
Merry
Love all of you.
See you, Santa.
Mayor, the next order of business on the agenda is the consent agenda.
I'll start to my right. Commissioner Fowler, are there any items that you'd like to pull from the consent agenda?
I do not have any.
Okay. Vice Mayor Cox?
I do not.
Commissioner Brock?
I'm going to pull 6.1.1 just so the public understands what we're doing over there and how convenient it's going to make it.
Okay. And Commissioner Wise?
That was what I was going to pull, so. that is
All right.
So we're pulling 6.1.1, which is consider approval of a permissive use agreement with Bryan Winston, DBA Local Motion Cyclery at 100 Van Brocklin Way, Johnson City, Tennessee. And what this is his business is located extremely close to the Tweetsie Trail trailhead where the sign and the parking is at. along Van Brocklin Way, and he has agreed to work with the city to allow us, he has some exterior facing bathrooms that face the Tweetsie Trail, and he's agreed to work with us with a lease agreement to allow users of the Tweetsie Trail to use those restrooms. Currently, we have the porta-johns spaced out through there, so we'll be able to remove the porta-john at the trailhead and we'll have signage in place, we'll have crosswalks, directional arrows to get to it, and then Park and Rec will be maintaining the restrooms, keeping them stocked, keeping them clean. They'll have the keys to open and close them at the convenient times like we do other restrooms located at parks throughout the city. And so this is a great advantage for us to be able to use these restrooms that are already built. And so if your all's approval comes tonight, we'll probably start that lease agreement in January.
Any questions?
I just have a final comment. There are probably thousands of pictures that have been taken by people under the gateway sign entering into the Tweetsie Trail, and every one of them has a porta-john behind it.
Yeah, we'll get rid of it.
So this is going to be really good news for those momentous pictures.
That's a great point. Anything else?
Move for approval.
Second?
I'll second.
Ms. Laps?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hunter?
Yes. Mr. Trivett?
Mayor, the next order of business is ordinances on first reading. Ordinance number 4905-24, first reading, an ordinance to abandon a 30-foot wide drainage and utility easement and a 20-foot wide temporary construction easement for B Station. Mr. Director Witherspoon is here to address and answer any questions you may have.
Are these honeybees?
I may be missing something on that one, so,
No,
sorry, Mayor.
B station.
Okay, B station, sorry. So, let's see if I can get this pulled up here. Nope, wrong one. All right, that's the one from last week. Do you mind taking a verbal on this?
Sure.
All right. So this is off of Rockingham and Kingsport Highway where a new subdivision's being built. There's a proposed pipeline to go through a piece of property that actually Mr. Brummett used to own. He granted the city easement. It was recorded. Then Mr. Brummett sold the property later on to a developer to develop a sizable lot subdivision out there. And so in order to construct the lot, the developer has granted us a new easement a little bit further back into the property that will better facilitate his work, and it makes no difference to us one way or the other. We're going from point A to point B, and it's just slightly off of the existing easement. So that is why that abandonment is before you,
Any questions?
and we'd recommend it. So.
Move approval.
Second.
All right. Ms. Laps?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hunter?
Yes.
Mayor, your next order of business is ordinances on second reading. Ordinance number 4902-24, second reading and public hearing. An ordinance to abandon a 15-foot wide utility easement located in the former Clinchfield Street. And Director Witherspoon's here to answer any questions you may have on that, and it will be a public hearing.
Okay, we did have audio visuals last time. I'm not going to attempt those this time. Mr. Lane came up and explained it to you. It's off of Lark Street, near the intersection of State of Franklin. The actual abandonment is what used to be the old Clinchfield right-of-way, a portion of a water easement or a sewer easement through that site. The developer of the hotel has relocated the line. We have a new easement for the relocation, and we'd recommend that you continue with the abandonment.
Public hearing.
I didn't know if anybody had any comments or questions beforehand. Okay. Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing. All right, seeing nobody interested in speaking, I'll close the public hearing.
Move approval. Second.
Ms. Laps?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hunter?
Yes.
Mayor, the next order is ordinance number 4904-24, second reading and public hearing. An ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee by changing from A1 district to R4 district to RP3 district for property located at Watauga Road and Frank Jones Road. And Planner Bryce is here to be able to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Trivett. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Bryce McNamer, planner with the Development Services Department. This is the second reading of the rezoning on Watauga Road and Frank Jones Road. With the public hearing being tonight, I would like to give a shortened version of the presentation given on the first reading, just so everybody can get reacquainted with this request. We know this is a rezoning of a currently split-zoned lot measuring at 46.35 acres, currently zoned general agriculture and R4 medium-density residential. This is being requested to go to RP3, planned residential 3, to accommodate a future development of micro homes. And in the city here, we have the Watauga-Unaka corridor, the country club. This is out at the base of the ridge on the far eastern side of the city near the Johnson City Municipal Airport property. The concept plan has remained unchanged since the first reading. This is 184 total residential units split between single family and a few multifamily units. There will be new public roads within this development as well as private roads, most notably the emergency access road coming off of Watauga here. There are 366 parking spaces. It has met all site plan requirements as of now, just pending the open space that will come at the site plan stage of development. This is supported by the bridge plan in the land use element, specifically policy 261, as well as a housing element objective 1. Staff's recommendation of approval has remained the same.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from the commission at this point? All right, if not, I will open for public hearing. If you're interested in coming to speak, for or against.
Hello, everybody. Public speaking is not my thing.
That's all right. If you'll state your name and address first.
My name is Ian Watson. I live at 2800 Watauga Road. It is the second house from the left on the bottom right corner of that site plan. What keeps me up at night, quite literally, is that emergency access road, which is 22 feet from my house. That will involve major construction activity with heavy equipment, and so I have some worries about that. It's going to be loud, backup alarms and the roar of heavy equipment 20 feet from my girls' room. Are there going to be time limits on this? Are they going to wake up to that sound? And the people who built that house, God love them. One of the basement walls is also a full height retaining wall, which was not reinforced correctly. So it's got an 1.5 inch bow out. And now that the previous owners, they did the right thing per a structural engineer, and they reinforced it with carbon fiber straps. And it's held 1.5 inches for several years. But what happens when heavy equipment is rumbling 22 feet from the house? What happens if it gets worse? I mean, can I do anything about that? Another challenge with the house we just closed in October is our driveway cuts right across that access, which I know is not our property, but that's how it came with the house, And the reason it does that is because there is a rather steep grade with a more direct route to Watauga. So when this is happening, can we get to our house? Is someone going to park their bulldozer right off the curb? I can imagine my family coming back with kids and groceries, and somebody parked their bulldozer on the curb, left for the weekend. So what do? Do we drop our groceries on the grass, go find a side street to park, and hoof it down Watauga with no sidewalk and Summers Taylor trucks with full loads of 57 stone barreling down Watauga? And what happens if we actually lose our ability to cross that? The work to get a driveway up to Watauga Road within our actual property lines would be financially devastating. So I just suffice to say, this is not about what I'm going to see when I look out my kitchen window. I'm worried about material harms, financial harms that my family might suffer because of this. And I don't know what the right thing to do is. I don't know what to do. I have these concerns and I don't know what to do about it. Should I just reach out to the developers directly and like beg for mercy? Is this couple minutes I have up here to say anything the only chance I get for some kind of help or advice? And one of my big worries, what if that access road becomes a construction access road? How many years will this last? I'm not actually asking anyone to vote no, but I don't know what else to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Wes Taylor. I'm a lifelong resident of Johnson City, live at 1005 Tulip Street. I'm just here to speak in support of our friends, Brett and Lauren Schreiber. I've known them for my whole life, and they're both wonderful people, and we think they have a real vision for some affordable housing in Johnson City. We think there's a real need for that, and so we would ask the commission to lend their support for their plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Russ.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Robert Campbell. I'm a Flag Pond resident, but a business owner here in Johnson City at 207 East Springbrook Drive. I own several small businesses here in Johnson City. I'm also a community leader when it comes to military veteran advocacy and military spouse advocacy. So I get to see a lot of ideas, especially on the nonprofit side, and I mention all that because of what I believe I bring to this discussion in asking to have this rezoned. I am a board member at Heidi's House of Hope, and when first presented this idea, and I met with Lauren Schreiber, she laid it out to me. I do confess I was skeptical. I've seen a lot of nonprofit ideas, a lot of entrepreneurship ideas, which are lofty and great. I've seen a lot of nonprofits that are launched with what I say, big hearts, narrow minds, not a real good, clear path to see it through. But what Lauren presented to me, I thought was really profound. This is simply just an ask of a rezoning, but it's something bigger than that. I think it's an opportunity for this community to get something right. I was reminded when Lauren was talking with me about veteran suicide, which, as we all know, is a massive problem in our nation. And I have entertained several ideas. I've been on several nonprofits that are trying to do something about veteran suicide. It's a tall order. And what I took from all those experiences, and I believe today, is you have to start small and demonstrate small, where you can do it in one small space and set that example and see it through, that it would work. It can really take off. This is an example of that. This isn't just carving out land, putting cheap houses in and filling them. This is an opportunity to really help with affordable housing. A great opportunity for veterans, and not just veterans, many people that could come in here. I can envision what this could become for those that can't afford housing, that could come into a community like this. And I think this could be a great example of what we could do right here in our own city, Johnson City. So it's got my support, and I ask for your support in rezoning this piece of land. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any others wishing to speak?
Hello, I'm Mike Stone, architect. I've been working with Lauren and Brett for close to a year now. And we've been working on this project. We're real excited about it, mainly because there's such a need for housing. There's a need for affordable housing, and especially post-Helene. We're aiming to create housing that is affordable, but also has identity, has customability, where people can pick from different floor plans. And we're actually working on the fourplex right now, which is the townhomes, and there's 36 of those units. So we actually haven't even shown Lauren yet what we're working on, but we're hopefully going to do that after Christmas and hit the ground running. But we're doing this in good faith that this will get approved and that this will be a successful project, and not only a single project, but hopefully something that is a model for others to come. Because we certainly don't have enough housing, and any type of affordable housing we can introduce, and if we can do it in a really tactful way and a design, to have certain design elements that can be, people can be proud of, I think is what we're aiming for, and we're really excited to be a part of this project. So thank you for considering it.
Thank you.
Get your address.
Oh, sorry, address?
2141 Moccasin Street South, Kingsport, Tennessee.
Thank
Can I
you.
ask you a question? If you don't mind, is it all right if I ask a question? Is there any way you can address some of the concerns that the gentleman
I would love
first
to.
spoke of?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's ways that we can direct, of course, there are other homes at the other entrance too, so we would want to hear, of course, he's here to speak his concerns and the others aren't. So I think that there are ways that we can direct traffic through the main road, and also that is just a fire exit. Once construction's done, that will not be a road that's traveled. I would also love to see if we could work with the city to see if we could push, there's a gate that's going to go with the road that will allow fire trucks in. What if we just push that back to allow him to still use that portion of his driveway? Because that road won't get used unless it's an emergency, is the idea. So.
Is that something we can, Mr. Trivett, work with them on?
Absolutely, we can, and there may be some other further steps you could take to give him some peace of mind with granting easements and ingress, egress easements that he would have recorded that would be permanently protecting his access to his home, and we could definitely look at moving that fire truck back.
I think we could also designate certain areas to park heavy equipment. Of course, I'm not the contractor or the developer, but I think that if we could propose certain areas that are away from any homes to where that's where the workers park, that's where the equipment is. Now, that's probably early to determine that, but if we could keep that in mind and keep equipment away from the residential portion, I think that'll help a lot.
It's great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Any others wishing to speak?
I work for John C. Schools also. My biggest concern I have also is we don't have enough sidewalks that goes in our neighborhood street. We have more kids coming in, more adults coming in. They're gonna be walking to the dollar store to get groceries. What do we do about the kids? I mean, we need sidewalks. We need more for kids' safety. A child misses a bus, they might walk to the school, they might walk to their friend's house up the street. But it's really not safe right now if we have more kids coming in, because kids want to walk, they want to go visit their friends. But there's no sidewalks. It goes up to the dollar store, and that's it, and it stops. And we got this big development coming in. And like my neighbor, he lives at 2800, I do feel sorry for him. I mean, their girls only got a little section now, and then when that comes in, they have no way to get into their driveway. And they just bought this house in October, and they went and told all this till after. So they woke up with a nightmare, I'm gonna be honest, and I feel sorry for them. But, you know, just those concerns that I have too. But I'll help them any way I can with my driveway, but they still need a right way to get in and out. Thank you.
I think that's what's going to be addressed here, so that it can be more formalized. But thanks for the idea on the sidewalks, for sure. Okay.
Kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna go visit their friends. If there isn't something safe for them, it's gonna accidentally happen. But them dump trucks are coming through left and right now, and they're turning their driveways up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalie Taylor. I am at 1005 Tulip Street. And I'm actually relatively new to the community. I've only been here for about a year and a half, but I just wanted to speak a little bit more on affordable housing, what you've already heard so much about. But I am originally from a community, Boone, North Carolina, I'm sure most of you have heard of it, where there is a massive housing problem currently there, which could really turn into that here with the scope that Johnson City is growing at. So I am in favor of this development, being able to help people with affordable housing to actually be able to come to the area. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is William Kinzer. I'm at 156 Hughes Street. My wife and I own the property. There's 40 acres on the right side of the property in question. our border is kind of that really long right side of the arrow. In the first reading, we spoke in favor of this idea. I would like to support her idea for the sidewalks for a second reason, because when we add all these people, this is going to be for lower income, not low income, but for lower income. Some of these people might need to ride bicycles to work. That is impossible. I teach at ETSU. I tried to ride my bike down Watauga. It is not safe. So if you can do something about sidewalks, that would be fantastic. I would also like to suggest that you consider extending the bus route down this Frank Jones Road into that area to potentially allow those people to use the bus line as well. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you. Thanks. Any others before we close the public hearing? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Is there a comment?
I would make a motion to approve, and I just would comment, I'm sympathetic to the neighbor who's impacted. Your best recourse really is going to be to work with the developer. The question that's before the commission right now is a land use question, and so, you know, we're being tasked with deciding what is the highest and best use of this property, and so I'm supportive of that request. I understand your concerns, and it sounds like there's a possibility you could work it out and maybe be in a better place than you are now, but that doesn't involve the commission. That's going to really involve working with the project. So that was all.
Thank you. There's a motion.
Well, and before I make a second, just, I guess it's not appropriate to ask staff questions right now, is it?
You can make the second, and then I guess we can open it up to questions at that point.
Okay,
So-
then I'll second.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions?
Really one, just on, as far as the emergency entrance goes, when the neighborhood's finished and they dedicate the roads to the city, what is the plan for that emergency strip? Is that going to be designated to the city as well, or does that stay private property?
So this will be private. It will more than likely not be fully paved and not be fully as wide as the public road here. There will be a gate. It would be set back a little bit off the road in order to give access for the fire truck to at least pull the entire depth of the vehicle off of the road, but then there would be a gate there and nobody would be able to access that.
And most of the time, those gates are equipped with a squelcher signal that they recognize sirens at a certain frequency and then open automatically. And I don't know if that's what's planned here or not.
And then the other question is just, as far as the neighborhood goes, there are sidewalk requirements within the neighborhood, right? They'll be dedicated.
Right, there, for this, we can require them to put sidewalks on the frontages, however, they really don't have any frontage. So everything else that's directly abutting Watauga Road is all somebody else's property.
But within the community, is there sidewalks shown on that?
Within, yeah, in the neighborhood.
I'm just kind of pointing it out, like, it looks like within the neighborhood, they're going to be a city street.
Within the neighborhood here, there are no
See
sidewalks.
the housing?
Oh, the development.
Oh, within the development, I'm sorry. Yes, there's sidewalks on both sides of the public streets here,
So,
all around.
And you may not know this off the top of your head, but what's the distance between where the sidewalk stops to this location? Do you know by chance?
I'll call up Riley Pudney.
And you may not know. I was just curious.
Are you saying the distance in between
No.
the road?
So the entrance of the development, you know, 'cause
Oh, okay. I see what
to
you're
wherever our sidewalks, where they could potentially tie in. I was just curious what that stretch would be to tie in to, so that. Quarter mile?
Oh, I see what you're saying. My apologies.
Okay.
Not right here, no. In this area, there's not. It's down a bit, once you get down to the Dollar General.
Okay. Are there any other comments or questions before we call the roll? If not, Ms. Laus?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox?
yes.
Mayor Hunter?
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Trivett?
Mayor, the next item is ordinances for third reading. Ordinance number 4903-24 third and final reading, an ordinance providing for the conveyance of 10 parcels of real property owned by the City of Johnson City, located in the 5th Civil District of Unicoi County, Tennessee, to Charles and Jessica Beard, Stacy Collins, Justin and Jamie Black, Richard and Sandra Lambert, Charles Hollifield, Kelvin Walker, Daryl and Sandra Fitz, David Frazier, and James Woodward. This property is the entirety of the former Buffalo Valley Golf Course, comprised of approximately 124 acres. And Assistant City Manager Willis is here to answer any questions and speak on this.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, there have been no changes since second reading to this
Move
ordinance.
approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Fowler, okay, Commissioner Fowler. Ms. Laus?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hunter?
Yes.
Mayor, that's all that's on the agenda for tonight.
All right, well, I'll start on my left with this. Are there any comments or?
I'm just excited about not owning a golf course in Unicoi County. It's like a Christmas gift.
However, people who just bought the property have to turn in all the golf balls you find. We'll take them at Pine Oaks. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are in the middle of the week, so we don't get the benefit of the long weekends or anything, but please spend time with your families. And one of the newer traditions that are going on in Johnson City is families together go down and walk through the Christmas trees on Christmas Eve, and it's just a delightful thing. I think it's going to rain, though, and it will be plenty cold. But
And
go
if your
anyway.
garbage is picked up on Wednesdays, it won't be picked up on Christmas. It's one of the few holidays that we don't run garbage, so. Saturday following? Saturday.
Yeah, how to,
I believe it's the Saturday.
Saturday after that.
the Saturday after.
Yeah. Commissioner Fowler?
I have nothing.
Vice Mayor?
Just a Merry Christmas. And if you've got a Christmas joke, I'd love to hear it.
Don't encourage.
No.
Oh, I've got one. Let's hear it. Do you know how much Santa's sleigh costs?
How much?
It's on the house.
I was going to say, not as much as his costume cost. That's a really nice costume he's got.
I guess I'd just say, over the past 2 weeks, since our last meeting, we've had opportunities to celebrate and spend time with our city employees at Christmas and employee appreciation luncheons. They've done a great job this year and work hard to go all out, and just thank them for their time and service in our community. And Merry Christmas. We'll call this meeting to order, or
No.
we'll call it closed.